Hey guys, it's Dale from Hot and Moving. So let's go down memory lane about Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper's, ESPN. He does all the mock drafts and whatnot for the NFL. And man, did Mel Kiper take a lot of heat for defending Shedeur Sanders. He did, and it was so weird because you had so many people coming at Mel Kiper, bashing him, getting on him, and too much coverage of. It was really mainly Louis Riddick and Mel Kiper really coming to bat for Shedeur Sanders because it made no sense for him falling in the 5th round. From a football perspective, it made no sense. Okay. All right. So I found this interesting article and said after preseason debut, Mel Kiper, Shedeur Sanders warning feels prophetic, doesn't it? Right. ESPN's Mel Kiper received tons of criticism online in the aftermath of the NFL draft for how he caped for Colorado QB Shedeur Sanders. Kiper, who spent 40 years analyzing the NFL draft prospect, views Sanders as one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the 2025 NFL draft class. Sanders was widely expected to be drafted in the 1st round, but what transpired was one of the most shocking draft falls in NFL history. Sanders was taken in the 5th round by the Cleveland Browns, prompting harsh criticism of NFL teams from Kiper. Ultimately, a prophetic quote that was brought back to the forefront following Sanders' sparkling preseason debut Friday night. Shedeur Sanders will come back to haunt these organizations that are passing him up. Man, okay, man. I mean, look, man, I get it. If you don't like Shedeur Sanders, that's fine. Okay, fine. You don't like him even if you know he can ball, but you just don't like him because you feel all kinds of type of all the brash and cockiness and arrogance, all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. You just a hater. That's fine. You're not allowed to. It's okay not to like a player. Okay. However, for those who were rocking with Shedeur Sanders while he was at Colorado, especially me, I was like, okay, clearly, in my opinion, he was the top 2 quarterbacks in the draft. Okay, I thought he was gonna be a top 5 quarterback. I thought he was gonna be the first quarterback taken, especially during the season at Colorado. Fast forward, it didn't play like that in the draft, and that's where a lot of people were scratching their heads. You know what I'm saying? And even me as a Steelers fan, I always brings up when I talk about him. It's like, yo, he was right there for us. And yeah, I listen. I didn't need to see the first preseason game of Shedeur Sanders to be having regrets as a Steelers fan that wow, we didn't take him. Okay, this is not looking for the NFL's sake, not Shedeur Sanders, for Shedeur Sanders. This is going to add to his arc if he continues on this track of how he played in the preseason, and he continues to build and develop, and really blossoms into an elite quarterback in the NFL. NFL history is not going to look good on this moment. It's not, and good because you know what, Louis Riddick, Mel Kiper, I know those other guys that also kind of in defense of Shedeur, they're gonna look good on the other side of history. You know what I'm saying? I know in real time, it was like, oh, why is Mel Kiper going so hard? Because what we saw was unprecedented. Like, we've never seen a projected top 5 player / top 2 quarterback in many people's eyes, including mine, just go to the 5th round. Okay? All the stuff with Johnny Manziel. Okay? All the issue with signing memorabilia, getting suspended. Did nothing, right? Baker Mayfield, okay, getting arrested in college, waving that flag and trying to plant it in Ohio State's football field. Like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh. But for Shedeur Sanders, though, a little watch flash, nothing off the field, no arrests, always does community work, He still carried that when he came to Cleveland. Didn't change. Said all the right things. Still, it was a massive problem. Massive problem. Right. And Mel Kiper, people like Mel Kiper criticized the NFL scouts and execs. They don't know about football, and they don't. A lot of them don't. Okay, because the reason why I say this is because a lot of them, and I know what Mel Kiper was getting at. He was like, a lot of these scouts and execs feel like they know more football than the average person. They know more football than what the fans' eyes see. Okay, which is definitely, decision. Obviously, we all know that this was not. It was more than football. Okay, how would he how would he have been a distraction? Okay, if anything, it brings good attention, especially how Shedeur Sanders carries himself. And if he's also, a hard worker, putting in the time, putting in the film session, everything is all about the team. Sure, when he celebrates, he has a little meme moment, but sports, you're allowed to have a little meme moment when you celebrate and do something good. That's the whole point of sports, is that you get a chance to flex a little bit, but it's never gone overboard where it's like all about him. I feel like there's some other elements at play I'm not going to get into that are obvious as to why he fell. Okay. But another element is that, like the whole time during that draft, if once Shedeur Sanders left, ain't nobody sticking around to watch that draft. Everybody was tuned in to watch where Shedeur Sanders was going. That's the whole. It was for. I feel like the other angle was for TV ratings and whatnot, and that cost them money. But you know what though? It costs some money, maybe NFL dollars, but it's definitely going to earn him. If he continues on the projected track, he's going to make a lot of money off the field. Okay, Nike dropped their ad immediately. You know what I'm saying? For Shedeur Sanders, great. Shedeur Sanders is just, he doesn't have to say much besides just say all the right team-friendly things and continue the ball. Okay, because he's going to be on the right side of history. Mel Kiper's going to be on the right side of history. Louis Riddick's going to be on the right side of history. Okay. And yeah, I know it's first preseason game overreaction, but I remember a few years ago when Dak Prescott looked good in preseason, then boom, they went ahead and dropped Tony Romo and put him in that joint, right? I understand that many guys have good preseason games, but something just feels different with Shedeur Sanders, that this is not some one-off. I'm not saying he's not going to have a bad game, or even this coming preseason game against the Eagles that he may not struggle here and there, but who wouldn't? I wouldn't be surprised if he did struggle against the Eagles. Who wouldn't struggle against the Eagles defense? First team or second team? It's the Eagles, defending Super Bowl championship. Defending Super Bowl champions, of course. I would expect him to struggle, but in that struggle, I want to see how he processes in real time, if he make adjustments and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But I just find it funny that Mel Kiper took some of the biggest shots from just the internet, other people in the media. It's like, because I feel like there's so many people that just wanted to defend the NFL right away. They just wanted to just be on the NFL's jockstrap as to why Shedeur Sanders fell to the fifth. And then now people are looking bad. They're looking very bad, but this was predictable though. A lot of people called it. A lot of people could foresee this coming. There's no way I thought he was going to be a bust, and I thought he was definitely worthy of being the top 2 quarterback taken. It was a lot of huffing and puffing in defense of the NFL, which made no sense, and then crapping on Mel Kiper and Louis Riddick. And then Shedeur Sanders, he never walked around like a victim. He never did. Okay, the media came to bat, and this is the good side of the media. We can't, people want to criticize the media, but I also, appreciate when the media calls out BS like this. And Mel Kiper had to take the strays for it, but but ultimately I feel like he's on trajectory of being right, in the NFL being massively wrong. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all this, man. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.